Nope, too low, too low, too low, too low. Let's do it again. And welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premiere podcast for the website cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Welcome back in. This is episode 364. What's been going on with me? Not much. I've just been working. I'm so fucking tired. I am so tired. Oh my gosh. It's Friday night, 7:27. People are out. I'm sitting here recording the podcast. a podcast that is my least listened. No, I'm just kidding. It's not my least listened. Constitutionals is alive and thriving. It's my number one podcast that I listen to. No, I don't listen to shit. That is on the show. That is on the for the website cpluscomedy.com. That's where I was going to go there. What's been going on? Don't worry about the numbers. What's been going on? Not much. We have some interviews in the Pike. In the pipe? In the Pike or in the pipe? I don't know if that is if either one works, but those are coming. I sent out some emails about some other ones. Oh shit! I know I meant to do something today. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. There's one big one that I did not think I'd get a response on, but it worked. It didn't work. Well, we don't know yet. But why am I even teasing it? But let's just say the new pitch deck seems to be getting some eyeballs. I did have one PR person who emailed me last week, I think, and they pitched their person, and I looked at the person and I went, great, let's do it, because I think it is not somebody who, they are an entertainer. They're not a musician. They're not an actor. They don't sing, but they are on television. And I thought, okay, let's do it. You pitch this person to me, let's do it. And then they had like a bunch of questions, which is fine. And I responded to them, and I sent them the pitch deck. I was like, if you have anything else, this will answer everything. I answered their question. I was like, if you need anything, here's a pitch deck for reference. Blah blah blah. And then they came back 2 days ago, or yesterday, and they asked me a bunch of more questions. And I was like, guys, here's the thing. If you are a PR person, I will never give you a list of questions that I'm asking ahead of time. 1, I don't write questions. 2, I don't want people in my business. Yeah, I guess in my business telling me I can't ask that. You can tell me, hey, this person doesn't want to talk about this, but other than that, and even at that point, I'm gonna be like, all right, well, I'm gonna hint towards it. But I will never, buddy, go sit down, go. But I will never give, and I'm not being mean to him. We were just outside, and he's gotten a lot of love today, even though I feel like shit. But yeah, I will never hear the questions. Anyway, let's go on about that. I woke up this morning, got myself a good, and no bad guys, blue moon in your eyes. He said you gotta woke this morning, got yourself a gun. I woke this morning. Name the show, The Sarandos. True or false? When my mom used to take my sister and I to the library over the summer because couldn't afford camp, they would get books, I would go straight to the DVDs and check out The Sopranos on DVD. That's how I saw a lot of Sopranos before we had HBO. And there's my that's why I messed up. I can't wait to clip that for social. I hope it's long enough. I hope it's short enough. I hope it's funny enough. Ooh. I fucking hate this so much. I hate everything. Anyway, I woke up this morning and there's this flu going around, and I take care of myself and I avoid touching people, but it wasn't even this morning. It was like 2 days ago. I just felt phlegmy and my voice was strained, which I'm going to try to cap this at 30 minutes, so I have to hurry this up. Also, it's 7:32 and I'm hungry and my dinner's sitting in that oven warming. And I just did not feel good. The guy's playing with a toy now. And I was like, oh God, I hope it's not the flu. I wasn't get worse or anything. Today was so far the worst day where I just did not want to talk. And I did my workout and I was so tired after the gym. I wasn't tired after the gym, and I wasn't tired. It was very luckily I did on Fridays I tend to do for cardio, because I do cardio pretty much every day. But I tend to do on Friday a very light cardio day. Although I took a running class, and I'll continue. This is nothing for nobody. I know I talk a lot of shit about Peloton, but I do like the platform, and the people I really like, I will continue to do. I took a John Hoskin class from like 2022 or 2024. It was 2022. It was a recovery run, and I thought we were gonna stay at between 4 and 6 the entire time. This man's like, and you don't have to follow along, but he was like, all right, bump it up to the run pace, and I was like, dude. We need to go slow. I kept it to 6, and I said no faster than that. I was watching Culinary Class Wars Season 2. I've been watching that all week, which is great. I've been watching that as I work out, because that's what I did with the first season. Each episode is like 80 minutes long. It's great. I really like that show. They could tighten it up. What else? The Rip is coming. I have to watch The Rip tonight. That's going to be something good. And then there was another movie that went to streaming. The Bruce Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere movie, I think that's what it's called, is going to be on Hulu. It's going to be good to watch. What was the other movie? Was it on Hulu? And then I'll continue on. Because remember, I'm the hungry one. Anyway, I was tired after the gym. Oh my goodness. Best Medicine. That was the other show that Fox did that to. They do the little winter premieres. Was that this show I was talking about it on, or the Late Night Lately that I just recorded? I did watch Luckiest Man in America. I'm keeping track of all my shows now in IMDb, shows and movies in IMDb, and I'm very excited because it is a lot of work, but I want to know what I have seen because. Again, I've never ever said this story, but over the course of a year, I saw Last Rambo 4 times, and I did not mean to see that movie 4 times. At most, I meant to see it once. But the first time I watched it intentionally. Second time I watched it, it was a couple of months later, and I went, "Oh, I don't think I've ever seen this movie." And I was on the bike. And I went, yeah, let me watch it. I got maybe 20 or so minutes in, and then I went, oh, I've seen this. And then I didn't finish it. And then the third time, a couple of months later, I was on the bike again, and I went, oh, I've never seen Last Rambo. Let me see if I can watch it. And then I got 3/4 of a way through, and I remember going the entire time of this movie going, wow, this is really familiar. Oh my gosh, what is going on? This is so familiar. I'm having deja vu. And I was like, fine, I'll just watch it. Oh, Black Phone 2 is on Peacock. Oh boy. Oh, my Peacock trial ended. That's fine. Either that or I paid for another fucking month, which I'm not happy about. Maybe it was an Apple TV. I don't know what I was supposed to watch. It was The Rip and something else. And then and then what else? Oh, and then the last time I watched it, I said I got all the way to he lives on a farm now, and I got all the way to the end where he blows up his own farm to protect this girl, and I went, oh, I've seen this movie. I've seen Last Rambo more than I've seen any other Rambo movie. The Rambo movie I really like is the one. What was the one? Rambo movies. What was the one he did? He came back. Rambo, just Rambo 2008. That was it, man. Stallone did 2008 movies. Oh, Rocky Balboa was 2006. He had a really good run of like just coming back with these not remakes, but with these new ones. I like those. I like and what was the one he did with De Niro? Let's see. What was that one? That was not Copland. Grudge Match. Yeah, that's right. I like Grudge Match. I've seen that one too many times. And you know what? I'm done seeing it. I don't want to see it ever again. When I was at Bounce TV, that was one of the movies that we acquired. Buddy, I have nothing for you. Okay, yes, I see you. Pet. All right, let's get into the stories. 11 minutes in. Jesus Christ. This comes from Variety. It's written by Gene Mattis. LA production shows no sign of rebound yet. It's very important that the epicenter of Hollywood, the epicenter of the entertainment business, which is Hollywood, gets back to making movies and TV shows and everything, because even if everything moves overseas, or if things are parsed out in America, then not a lot of things are going to be made, because everybody basically lives in Los Angeles. And there's a lot of twists and turns to this, but production days for film and TV and commercials fell 12.3% compared to the prior quarter. This comes from data from Film LA. It's a downward trend that's continued and persisted since 2022. Total shoot days across those categories has not increased for 2 quarters in a row since 2021. I believe Gavin Newsom signed a bunch of new major film and TV expansions late last year, or in the middle of last year. Yes, the California Film Commission has since allocated $771 million in tax incentives to dozens of films and TVs, including Jumanjis and Heat 2s and Baywatch. Has Baywatch started? I saw Baywatch was doing an open casting call in LA. So I don't know if they started filming. An open casting call, when's the last time that was successful? Because I remember very distinctly they were doing that for Star Wars, the Rey trilogy, the Skywalker saga, I believe that's what it's called. Is that what it's called? The Rey trilogy is what I'm going to call it. And I remember distinctly, I was in college and, I was finishing up college. Yeah? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I was in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I remember somebody I worked with was like, I'm going to go to this open casting call in Nashville. And I just thought, this is not going to, like, if. And then I remember the Harry Potter. The Harry Potter open casting calls for this new TV show. Yeah. Well, but they're young and they don't know, these kids don't really have projects to their names. I wish more things like that would happen. None of those new shows and projects that received the $771 million in tax incentives have shown up in production figures. Goodness me, these kids. Approved projects have 180 days to begin filming from the issuance of a credit. Here's a chart. You can see here that I pointed with the thing as if you could see. Production has gone down steadily. It did rebound in 2024, but has not reached even that peak yet again. According to Film LA, 17.3% of film projects that shot on location last quarter were subsidized by the state. That was down from 19.2% in the same quarter of 2024, but up from 2023 during the actor strike. That's why. When 8.7%. Yeah. Okay. It's going to take a lot more companies, studios, and just people just shooting stuff in Los Angeles. But then on the other hand, it's good when other states are being competitive as well. Like Jersey has really good incentives now, and we see Pennsylvania and Connecticut. There's a reason why Disney is still in Connecticut with ESPN. So it all makes, in Atlanta sometimes, Texas sometimes, Montana I think has a good one too. I would like to see a little bit more increase though for LA. This next one comes from the New York Times. It's written by Nicole Sperling. Ted Sarandos says critics just misunderstand Netflix. What a take, Ted. Also, during the Golden Globes, there's a big hypocritical nature in this world, and I think that we should not give celebrities so much. While we should have grace with them, we also should not give them so much power in that. And I'm saying that because, yes, the studio was a funny show and it was so meta, and everybody in the industry loved it. But to give Seth Rogen that award, to actually have Casey Bloys and Ted Sarandos executives there at the Golden Globes on camera multiple times. I saw Casey Bloys so many times. You know who Casey Bloys is? He's the head of HBO, and Ted Sarandos is the head of Netflix. I saw them so many times on camera, which was ridiculous. To have Seth Rogen cast Ted Sarandos to play himself in a Golden Globes episode of the studio, and then it's just like, but then be like, Netflix shouldn't buy Warner Brothers, AMC should. It's just it just stinks that there's so many hypocrites. But there's gonna be anyone who has to say anything out loud like that just tends to be in the wrong. I was going to relate it back to Peloton, but I'm not going to do it. Ted sat down with Nicole to have just basically, I would say, a more frank discussion about the Warner Brothers deal. But then again, she didn't really ask. And this is not on her. This is not on her because there's nothing we know much about the deal besides the money. There's nothing we know much about the deal besides the money. But so she was really kind of ham-handed. Is it ham-handed? Hamp-handed. Is that a word? And it's not ham-handed. She was kind of stuck asking these questions to what, just surrounding the dealingness of the deal. I'm so tired. I'm so tired right now. I'm just so friggin' tired, and I'm hungry. Now, but one of the big takeaways from this is that there is that Netflix will stick with Warner Brothers 45-day theatrical window, which is promising. I wish it were still 90, but we're not going to. Ben Affleck was on, and Matt Damon were on the Howard Stern show this week, and Ben Affleck is still a man of the people. I like him very much. He did say something that did get me thinking, and I don't completely agree with him, but he said, we can't ask people to spend all of their money at the movies, which is fair. Tickets are expensive, and I have to think about this too now because I work during the day, and I'm not going to be able to go to movies during the day. But he said, he's like, we can't ask somebody to spend, for 4 family members to spend $20 per ticket, $25 per ticket. You don't have to buy snacks. That's on you if you buy snacks at that point. But $25 per ticket, and then to sit there for 2.5 hours for a movie they may or may not like. But that is also part of the fun of seeing a movie. And then sometimes people just have to wait for a movie to come to their homes and they watch it, which is true. That's a very true statement. Movies are expensive, And if somebody wants to wait for it to get to their home, then they'll do it there. Also, on the other hand, if they want to watch it in theaters, then they will go and watch it. But he has to. I think he's not also taking in consideration that he's a big movie star, and The Accountant 2, didn't that come in theaters? I don't remember. But his movies will come to streaming if they want them to. They'll come. It'll go to theaters if they want them to. There's a lot of people who don't get paid well because movies and TV shows just go straight to streaming and there's no TV or theatrical window, and that's it. For a lot of people, that's it. And there's just like a lot of working actors who are stars in their own right. But that has to be taken into account as well. So Nicole continued asking him about the Paramount side of the deal and then just talking about the deal more. She did ask, and I feel bad for saying that she was ham-fisted. What is it? She was stuck asking certain these questions. But that's what it is. She asked. She's a good interviewer, but she also was only able to ask these questions surrounding this deal. And Ted, being Ted, we got the same answers. So he talks about how that Netflix was never buyers; they're always builders. Blah blah blah. But then they decided why they decided to get Warner Brothers was because their products fit in with theirs. There you go. They call it products. Maverick. Come here, buddy. He's chewing on a bone and he's breaking it. And I don't want him to do that. Come here. Sit. The one thing I wish Ted would understand is that and Netflix as a whole, and every other streamer, just like all these companies, is that there is some magic to be had in the theatrical business. And I'm glad that he stuck with the 45-day window, because I feel like the James Gunn Superman really hit 45 days and then just immediately came home for streaming for purchase and then hit HBO Max within 90 days. I feel like it was less than. I feel like the movie came out in July, and then hit HBO Max in September. He also continued on about this 45-day window. If we're going to be in a theatrical business, and we're competitive people. We want to win. I want to win opening weekend. I want to win a box office. But to have that, you also have to trust that the movies will do well, and you also have to give them a chance. A limited theatrical release is fine for a Fathom event. It's fine for, watching Fleabag in theaters. Excuse me. But you can't just say, we're going to put out Jay Kelly for 2 weeks for the 10 days that it needs to be out so that it can be Oscar eligible. In some instances, you are hurting yourself. And I think Jay Kelly was the wrong one to choose. But and on some instances, the right one to choose, because that's the movie that you want to put up for theaters, for awards. But a movie like The Rip with two giant actors, plus Steven Yeun, who's also a big actor in himself, and then it's a big action movie. Isn't that something that you want to put out January 16th in theaters so that you can make $50 million? Which to them is nothing. Nicole also asks that does he regret saying that theatrical business was an outmoded idea? And then he just repeated himself. But he did reference Sinners, how it was supposed to be set in does not have a movie theater there. Oh, the town that Sinners is supposed to be set in is not a movie theater. I was skipping ahead. Oh, excuse me. I was like, is this poorly edited? for those folks, it's certainly outmoded. You're not going to get in the car and go next town and go see a movie. But my daughter lives in Manhattan. She could walk to 6 multiplexes, and she's in theaters like twice a week. Not outmoded for her at all. But you also have to think that people who live in a town like Sinners aren't going to go see Sinners. They're not going to see any movie. At most, they will see the biggest Marvel movie, but that's it. And I think I'm taken away from them, but they're not going to go see Sinners in the movie theaters. They're going to see like, oh, I heard this Sinners movie is coming. We should get the HBO Max. And yeah, so go read this interview. But the hardest thing to take out of it was the 45-day window. All right, this next bit comes from NBC News. PBS Weekend newscast shuts down due to funding cuts replaced by single topic programs. This is written by the Associated Press. PBS NewsHour used to run 7 days a week. The Monday through Friday show is hosted by Amna Nawaz and Jeff Bennett, and the Saturday Sunday show was hosted by John Yang. Unfortunately, because of the budget cuts, we lost that show. Stop! No! Come here, Maverick. Come here. Sit. Now, lay down. Right here. Cat and dog, so young and so stupid. No, lay down. But they had to sign off last Sunday for, they say the foreseeable future, and we don't know if that show's going to come back. But it's replaced with single topic shows. Buddy, lay down. Come on, good boy. Is replaced with single topic shows that they already had in the show Horizons, which is a science and technology show, and Compass Points. It's the PBS NewsHour doesn't get the biggest amount of viewers. And go to your crate. Doesn't get the most viewers. The weekend newscast averaged itself 827,000 viewers per show, which is 1 million less than the regular NewsHour. But it's still, again, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I've harped on this over and over. PBS News is, the local place for a lot of places in rural areas where they get their local news from. And it's unfortunate that as the Republican-controlled Congress continues to affect how people are taking in their news, we're in this next story, and we'll just go on to this right now. This comes from the New York Times. We need to be the news inside Bari Weiss's Bumpy revamp at CBS. This comes from Michael Grinbaum and Benjamin Mullen. It's unfortunate that now it seems like news programs and organizations and sources are tending to lean towards just making sure that the Trump administration is getting what it needs, as opposed to actually doing what they should be doing, and that's reporting the news. CBS News is, I saw The Onion make a post. CBS News, the White House can trust, and which is very true. This week has been the first real week with Tony DeCopel's CBS Evening News. It's not been very good ratings-wise. They're on a tour of the U.S., and there was an interview with Donald Trump. It was one episode, like that interview with Donald Trump was like half the episode. It's the evening news. You're supposed to be the news on broadcast television for everybody. Why are you featuring the president for 11 minutes of a 22-minute show? Bari Weiss wrote in a note that was obtained by the New York Times, the goal for this road show is not to deliver the news so much as to drive the news. And it's got asterisks between at the start of drive and at the end of news. We need to, oh God, more asterisks, be the news. I guess it's supposed to be italics for these 10 days. But what's really funny is Nikki Glazer made a joke at the Golden Globes in reference to CBS News, saying that that CBS News was America's newest place to see BS News, which is very funny. I can't name one person who is excited by this shift that CBS News has done, and as companies like Sinclair and Nexstar and Tegna keep trying to buy up, and Sinclair, Nexstar, and Tegna. Yeah, okay. I thought I forgot Sinclair. As they keep trying to make their footprints bigger, it is becoming a foot race to see who can put out the most misinformation. As I was, when I get home from the gym, and either I start stretching because it's an upper body day or it's a lower body day, and I'm doing the cycling after the fact, and I'm watching morning news. On YouTube TV, you can put 4 quadrants up of the just certain channels, which really sucks. For $82 a month or $83 a month, we should be able to put up any network. But I have Good Morning America, Today Show, CBS Mornings, and CNN This Morning, and it's this week in particular has just been bad for news because it's just so boring. They're talking about things that happened in Minneapolis last week, and then they're also talking about things that Trump is doing, and then some Venezuela stuff. But then they also filled their A blocks with just pointless news, and then the B blocks and everything else that follows, because they've done the 3 big stories: Venezuela, Minneapolis, and Trump, and then they just fill it up with, here's some CBS deals. It's just ridiculous. It's the same shit over and over again. Oh my God. But CBS is the worst out of all of them. CBS Mornings has just gone right down the drain, probably since Charlie Rose got in trouble. Now let's continue on. They talk about what happened over the past week or so with CBS Evening News, including Tony DeCoppel's prompter issues, his interview with Marco Rubio, and then the firing of the producer. Let's see. CBS also posted a message from Mr. DeCoppel introducing himself to viewers. He accused legacy media of having missed the story, all this stuff. Oh my gosh. It has just been turmoil in terms of what's happening at CBS News. I don't know if people at 60 Minutes don't like her. People at CBS Evening News probably don't like her. I've not heard anything about that. But apparently Bari and her allies insist that there's not orders coming from David Ellison, who's the owner of Paramount Skydance, or Donald J. Trump, who's the president. They maintain that she's exercising her prerogative as the network's editor-in-chief. In the same memo, in a recent memo, the majority, Bari Weiss wrote, the majority of Americans say they do not trust the press. It isn't because they're crazy. Oh, my goodness gracious. Part of the debate inside of CBS News is whether Ms. Weiss's early stumbles are a symptom of partisanship, inexperience, or something else. I'm going to say inexperience, because again, we know that she has not been in charge of any newsroom, and I don't think she's even written news herself. I think she's only done opinion stuff. She had never managed an organization nearly as large as CBS News. There you go. And she has brought along some of her colleagues from the Free Press, including Adam Rubenstein, who previously worked with Mrs. Weiss on the opinion desk of the Times, and Sasha Seinfeld, the daughter of the comedian Jerry Seinfeld. Oh, Jesus Christ. Are we serious? What? I didn't know that was a thing. She's 25 years old. This is ridiculous. You know what? If she can have this job, then I can be in charge of Warner Brothers right now. Privately, Ms. Weiss has been deeply frustrated by the negative reaction to her decisions and has blamed some subordinates for not staunching the criticism. Stanching. Staunch. I was right. Staunching the criticism. 3 people familiar with internal discussions said Ms. Weiss's wife, Nellie Bowles, a former reporter at the Times, openly mocked the objections of the 60 Minutes staff, who had clashed with her spouse in a column published by the Free Press, which Ms. Weiss continues to oversee. But isn't that conflict of interest? If you're in charge of one periodical publication, can you not be in charge of something that's bigger and also doing the same thing? Like it'd be like if let's go back to me running Warner Brothers. It'd be like if I ran Warner Brothers and then I was also like, I'm in charge of I'm in Disney now, also as well. Oh my God, what a disgusting thing to do and be, and who these people are. CBS News. It's. Again, I understand that people aren't necessarily watching evening news anymore, and that crowd is probably old and they're on their deathbeds, but it is something that is as important as local news. We don't need somebody putting in nonpartisanship views into CBS Evening News. This is not, when you have Scott Jennings on CNN, even though I also think that's unnecessary, but this is not CNN. This is not Fox News, not MSNBC. We don't need somebody instituting what they think is right and fair. We just want somebody reporting the facts. And while that may not necessarily be pretty, it's exactly what is needed when it comes to actual news. But Bari just doesn't seem to understand that. She just wants to have the recognition that she never got when she was growing up because she was never attractive. And that she never got in her working life because she's not good at what she does. And I will say it to her face. That fat little troll. Hey, listen, if you like what you heard here, at the website cpluscomedy.com, where you can see a bunch of things I've done, including talk to a bunch of celebrities. If you want to see a video version of this show, as well as a video version of those chats, as well as a video version of the other podcasts, Late Night Lately, the Late Night Show, and LinkedIn Logs, the Jobs podcast, head to the website, cpluscomedy.com. Oh, excuse me, head to youtube.com/cpluscomedy. I'm running on empty right now. youtube.com/cpluscomedy. If you want to see everything else, cpluscomedy.com. Subscribe to those shows where you get your podcasts. Follow us on social media, TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram at cpluscomedy, me at Chad Black White. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.